Lights, camera, imagination. This is Greenlight This, the show where movie lovers create the blockbusters of tomorrow, one bold idea at a time, from reimagined classics to universes that never existed. We're taking you behind the scenes of films that could be if only someone would hit that green light. My name is Landon Davis, but you can call me Squiddy, and I'm here with the Alf to my Marvin the Martian, Travis Medore.
Why, hello there, everybody. Hope you're doing well today.
So, Travis, to start out, I want to talk about marketing in movies.
Sure. Why do you want to bring this up?
So, I have a strong opinion about when a movie should release a trailer.
Okay.
If you drop a teaser a year before, sure, cool, give us that little tease. Kind of like the Shrek 5 situation. I get annoyed when they push it back another year, but at least it's only a tease. But if you're going to drop a full, minute and a half, 2-minute trailer, such in the case as Bill Hader's Cat in the Hat.
Ah, okay. I see where this is going.
Yeah, if you're going to, drop the trailer and start putting it in theaters, let's, keep it to its date. That movie recently was supposed to release in February of 2026. Now it's getting pushed back to November 2026.
Which is just wild.
The wild part to me is the studio hasn't pulled the trailer from movie theaters, so it's going to keep...
I think I'd heard that, which is just more insane.
It's going to keep playing and playing and playing, and we're going to know this trailer by heart, and I think it's going to ruin a lot of jokes. And then on top of that, when you pull a movie 6 months about before, you've already made deals. You have marketing planned.
Yeah.
So they probably have Cat in the Hat Easter eggs that are going to come out in the spring, and Valentine's that were going to come out in Valentine's. Yeah, there's going to be all these things that are going to be probably food-based specifically. Not to mention, there's a good chance that they may not want to hold the toys in the warehouses, so they're going to get to sent to stores. And without a movie, there's a decent chance that, those are going to be in clearance by the time this movie comes out. So I'm kind of worried about a movie that I was pretty thrilled about a month and a half ago.
Yikes. Yeah, that's not looking good for them. I really hope these changes are going to be worth it for them.
I hope so. I know the general idea is that they're trying to push for that pre-holiday season. They want to get everyone in the theater at that time. And I hope so. I guess, we'll have to see. But I love seeing any of Dr. Seuss's work in animation.
Oh, yeah. It definitely works better in animation.
Yeah, Horton Hears a Who was fantastic.
Absolutely.
I love the Lorax. Cat in the Hat, definitely we should only see in animation. Let's never see him live action again.
I actually really like that one, though.
Of course you do.
Don't judge me. Well, Squiddy, on that note, should we get started?
Let's do it. So, Greenlighters, grab your Reese's Pieces and tinfoil hats. It's time to greenlight something new.
All right, hit the lights. Roll camera. Wait. Hold on. Where's the script? So, Squiddy, what are your earliest memories of alien movies?
Okay, so that's a tough one, right? Because we grew up in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
We had Men in Black, Independence Day, we had Galaxy Quest. We got the Star Wars Special Edition movies that released on VHS. Even the Phantom Menace, that was part of our childhood. I know I saw Mars Attacks at a very young age, or even Muppets in Space. So the 90s was kind of thrilled with it. I know our family loved those movies. We would do sleepovers out on the trampoline as siblings. And yeah, just that took over for good and bad in my family. What about you?
Yeah, I feel like some of the same ones definitely. Independence Day, I grew up watching that. I grew up watching Men in Black. Definitely grew up with Star Wars. I knew of Star Trek in terms of the series and everything, but never really watched it until much later in my years. In terms of other alien movies, there was Signs, which is the...
I remember that creepy walking scene.
That creepy walking scene just gave you nightmares.
It was better than the rest of the script.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a few episodes of Goosebumps or some Goosebumps specials where they dealt with aliens. But yeah.
X-Files,
yeah. Yeah, 90s was just very heavy with aliens. So really, like, I feel like every other year there's some kind of extraterrestrial ET.
E.T. in the
ET
80s,
project
70s,
coming
yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So besides movies, what do you know about the more real life, quote unquote, alien stories?
Oh man, I used to actually be really into this in my early teens. I would just sit and like watch and read all these conspiracy theory videos about aliens. Currently, a lot of that's faded, but I feel like the top ones are you have the alien greys, and then apparently subspecies of those if you really dig into that, and then you have your reptilians, and I feel like there's a few others in there, but I'm not quite certain.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the grays, that's pretty common.
Yeah.
We 90s we had Lisa Frankart, and she always had the green alien like gray
Yeah.
version that was just kind of perfect part of that era. My family, we actually have gone to Roswell as a child.
Oh, so cool.
So I remember seeing the special McDonald's that Roswell has. But other than that, there wasn't much that I ever like researched. I know I've seen a couple episodes of Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
Generally, I would say I treat it like religion. Like, I don't want to offend anyone's beliefs.
Oh, absolutely.
But maybe I'm going to take some things with a grain of salt, other things I won't. You know, the world is magical. It's unexplained. That's kind of my stance when it comes to a lot of it. And yeah, so I figured today we could give kind of a general summary. So if Travis, you could, since you mentioned the Greys, give us some basic stuff about the Greys.
All right, some facts that we have here. Let's start with their description. For those who are unaware of the alien Greys, they are supposedly much smaller. They're thin humanoid beings, typically around 3 to 4 feet tall, with gray skin, large black almond-shaped eyes. So you have just the big head with the big bulgy eyes, kind of the classic alien shape. Small mouths and no visible ears or hair. And their origins, they became popular in UFO folklore and tales and fables around 1961. The Betty and Barney Hill abduction story, where were later cemented in pop culture through films and books and just other forms of media.
Yeah.
If we were to go further, there's a few theories about them. One is that they're extraterrestrial scientists. They're a non-human species from another star system, possibly Zeta Reticuli, which I've seen a lot. And they're just here to visit Earth, studying humans, collecting biological samples, or they're here to just monitor our development. Another theory is they're doing genetic experimentation or hybrid theories. They're creating hybrids between humans and themselves, either to save their dying species, improve their genetics, or slowly integrate into Earth. And I feel like I've seen that in other series and other medias as well.
Yep. Oh, I agree.
Another one is future humans. They are time travelers, an evolved form of humanity coming back from the future to study their own past or prevent catastrophe.
My favorite part about this theory is I recently saw somebody talk about that's why all the billionaires now are building their own spaceships. They're building the Noah's Arks that eventually are going to lead to the Greys. And I was like, well, you got my attention, guys. I can't dispute that craziness.
I will say I haven't actually heard that one too often. But yeah, I mean, make a believer out of me. Continuing on, why they visit Earth. I think going back to that extraterrestrial scientists, they're here for scientific study of humans and the planet, surveillance of nuclear weapons or environmental damage, preparing humanity for eventual contact. Please be soon. Extracting genetic material for hybrid programs. And lastly, spiritual or consciousness experiments.
Yeah, I think the Greys are super interesting. Again, they're the basic of like what most people are going to think when you say alien. You're like, oh yeah, I know this weird looking thing.
Yeah.
why are they here? What's going on? There is, multiple stories of people that have had experiences with them. One of the other ones that you mentioned are the reptilians.
Yeah.
I really did think about including it in this week's, but I think I'll save it. Maybe, if there's enough interest in this episode, we'll revisit the movie that we're going to talk about today.
Oh yeah, there's a lot in the reptilians that we can easily do a whole separate episode on the reptilians as it is. So yeah, let's save that for a future time.
Absolutely. But I do want to introduce another one which isn't as familiar, the Nordics.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about the Nordics.
So generally the Nordics, they are human-looking beings, very pale skin, long blonde or white hair, blue eyes, blue or light-colored eyes, often described as radiating calm or benevolent energy. So Odin, Thor, Loki, kind of the origins. The origin of the culture began in the 1950s during the first UFO contactee wave. People like George Adamski claimed meeting beautiful, tall space brothers from the Pleiades star system, potentially. So
that does sound familiar.
Yep. Blonde hair, blue eyes, very Norse. That is a common thing over there. So there's some main theories about them that differ from the Greys. Benevolent. They're advanced aliens from the Pleiades, Sirius, or other star systems, visiting Earth to warn about nuclear weapons, environmental damage, or a spiritual decline. They're often depicted as trying to guide or uplift humanity. Ancient visitors or teachers. They may have interacted with early humans, inspiring myths of the Norse gods, angels even, or shining beings.
Pyramids, maybe?
Well, maybe, yeah. Future or parallel humans. They are future of alternate versions of humanity that evolved in different ways, coming back to assist us. Kind of similar to the Greys. Interdimensional spiritual beings. They're not from space, but a higher dimension, acting more like guardian spirits than physical aliens. And yes, psychological or cultural explanation beings are idealized projections, literally space angels. So kind of just that's the general theme. So yeah, as I kind of mentioned in there, they warn humanity about our self-destruction, help us towards spiritual guidance, to counteract malevolent aliens like the Greys or reptilians potentially, to prepare for open contact or a future golden age of us. I want to know, the two alien races that we've talked about, is there any pop culture that comes to mind when we've talked about them?
Oh my gosh, I feel like so much is just flooded into my mind.
There's one I'm thinking specifically.
E.T.?
Stargate.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that was rushing through my mind the entire time with both of them. Just with the Asgardians, not the Jaffa. The Jaffa worked for them. The
Ghoul, yep. Yeah, I think specifically what I was leaning into was the Asgard that are in Stargate. If you're not familiar with the series, eventually they meet good aliens when they've had other experiences with bad aliens, and they go by Asgard. They look like your classic gray alien, little small figures, but they go by Norse names. Norse is the culture, so they're almost a mix between these two. But yeah, do you have any other thoughts about kind of what we've shared about talking about with the aliens?
No, it is really fun revisiting aliens, especially kind of like around as we're getting closer to Halloween, because I feel like, I don't know, aliens and Halloween, not many people think about that mix, but I definitely see it from time to time.
Yeah, maybe it's just our culture of ET that we kind of like the idea of ET, whatever, dressed in as a ghost. But yeah, I thought it would be kind of fun to visit maybe what a fall spooky vibe of alien movies would be. So specifically, I'm going to infer in this story a little bit of what we were talking about with the Greys. Maybe they're the future humans, but maybe they're the extraterrestrial scientists. Just kind of keep that in the back of your head. You know, Maybe they're neutral. Maybe they're bad. Maybe they're, a villain to us. And the Norse, I'm definitely going to lean into benevolent protectors.
Okay.
So today's movie that I want to share, it's called The Mani Harvest.
Okay.
So Ma-ni, like Ma and your knee, which is based off of a Norse god.
Oh.
I kind of want to set the tone of this as an action adventure, maybe a little mystery, a little thriller to it. And I want to say that the log line for this be something along the lines of, after a plane crash outside of a small town, let's just call it Coldtooth,
Okay.
the Jensen family notices young Alice's obsession over a new friend.
Ooh, kind of has almost some kind of ET vibes going on there.
A little bit. I think I'm going to put it into a different direction for you.
Okay.
So to give you a visual of the cast we're going to look with, Alice I see as a very young child, let's say 7 to 10 years old.
Okay.
Other than that, just keeping it kind of generic. Rough and tumble older teenage brother, probably somebody that's pretty accurate to about that 15 to 18 age. I thought of the actor Jacob Tremblay.
Okay.
Yeah, which if you're not familiar with him, he voiced Luca in the Luca movie. He's done a few other live action things that just maybe weren't quite as popular. But then we need a mom and dad, so Lucas and Lauren. So Lucas, I thought we need somebody that can be a dad, maybe like a farmer. We're going to do small town vibes. So somebody like Alexander Skarsgård, or Joel Kinnaman from For All Mankind. He's also done Suicide Squad. And then I wanted to mix it up, give some variety to the family. So then for the mom, I thought, let's go with somebody that could try out the role of being a mom. I'm not familiar with her having done that role before, but Chloe Bennett, who's from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then you're going to meet Ray Foster. I wanted somebody that definitely looked like they have been a farmer for a long time. Maybe they spent some time at war. Somebody that's face is a little grizzled. And the wonderful, handsome, charming Mark Hamill.
Gotta love that man.
Yeah, somebody who could do that deep, gruff voice.
I've been farming these fields.
And then the second to last character I'm going to introduce is Dr. Luna Ramos. And we love her. We're obsessed with her. The wonderful Aubrey Plaza.
What a gem.
And then Mani, we need somebody tall because, as a reference, the Norse were quite tall beings.
Yeah.
So I'm going to probably butcher this name, but Jonas Sodama, who has taken over the role of Chewbacca. So he's a tall, blonde-haired actor. He's done some good acting besides that role, but
he was just recently in the Wednesday series as Lurch.
Yeah.
The new Lurch actor.
Yeah.
Basically, whenever Hollywood needs someone over like 7'5", they get Jonas.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's not that many options, sadly. Other than that, I guess we could try and find like a basketball player that wants to go into acting. So, story.
Yes.
On Veterans Day, the Jensen family helps farmer Ray Foster host a dinner for the local veterans at the community center. Cute, adorable family event. Shows they're good people. You get a general vibe that everything's good. It's a quaint little town. As the family travels home, they witness flames erupt in the night sky. A plane comes crashing down.
Oh.
That night, family's alone in their rooms asleep. We see Alice get up and just wander outside. Nightgown, probably barefoot. A few classic tropes that get a little scary but make you wonder. Over the next few days, Alice is going to just disappear. A few hours at a time, but then she'll just reappear.
Oh.
She'll keep drawing this friendly figure that she'll be calling Mani.
Mysterious.
Yeah, but is it just a kid's imaginary friend?
Right? Yeah.
Who knows? Reports are going to come up across town of some theft, some damages, maybe a dead cattle or two. At the same time, we're going to start following Ray, who's going to start helping the law enforcement as they investigate the crash site. Ray and Dr. Ramos, they're going to follow the leads regarding these missing cattle, the missing items across town. They're going to kind of head on their own side adventure.
Okay.
And then we're going to kind of reach the final night where everything's going to happen. Ray and Dr. Ramos track down extraterrestrials following a trail of, like I said, slaughtered cows, maybe even a missing person.
Oh.
And they're going to head towards like a sacred mountain. Meanwhile, the Jensens, they keep getting more and more worried about Alice. Where's she going? What's going on? And as they follow her, they are eventually going to see Mani. But which entity, because there's definitely two going on, causes this plane crash, and why?
I like that.
The style I kind of wanted to go for this movie is Close Encounters, a little Men in Black, E.T. definitely. The last one that I probably based it the most off of, and I believe you said you haven't seen this, but the film Super 8.
Yeah, no, I've heard really good things about it. I just haven't found the time to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, it is very good in just that old Spielberg E.T. style.
That's what I've heard.
So yeah, I would definitely say this could be a family film, but probably more in your like older teens film rather than like young children. Yeah, just to, keep it safe.
Yeah.
Somebody that has worked close with Spielberg before that I think would be a great director and letting them have the opportunity. We've loved their work in all of the work they've been doing for Disney Plus, but Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Her dad has done a few films I feel like kind of on the edge of this, right? He has a similar style to him. And then if we're looking for an executive producer, the director of Super 8 I think would be great. So executive producer J.J. Abrams.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And this is only the first film, so we won't let him be involved in the others so we can fill in the full story. And I would like to tease and set up that this could easily expand into more movies, a trilogy or more. Dr. Ramos, I think she has a little bit of a past that, let's just say she'd have her own Indiana or Constantine-like adventures. That's definitely why I thought I would like to see Aubrey Plaza in the role, just to let her expand into her own side. Then the Jensen family, they will meet Mani again. And Ray, he's got his own adventures and maybe even his own past that could be expanded to connect to all this. But yeah, that is the first movie in our Alien saga, if we ever go further with it. Yeah. But with that, I think we can head to post.
Yeah. All right, let's head to post.
Good. That's a wrap. Let's go to post.
Alrighty, so now that we're in post, Squiddy, if you were cast as a character in your own cinematic universe, what archetype would you play? The hero, the trickster, the mentor, or the villain?
I've got to really think about it, but I think I'm going to be the mentor. Okay. I'm gay, so I can follow the great leads of somebody like Dumbledore or the Golden Girls in bequeathing my knowledge that is nothing to somebody. And, that would be part of the main character, the hero's plot is that I'm going to give them bad advice and they need to not take my advice. What about you, Travis?
So part of me would, for a small change, be the villain. Because, I don't know. I've done very minor acting here and there, and I think it would just be fun to play a villain. But realistically, I'm going to be the hero. I'm the guy that's just, I'm going to step in, I'm going to save the day, regardless of the cost. I'm going to risk myself in the final act to save the town, because
the crown.
Yeah, and the crown.
And Mr. Krabs.
Because, radioactive hamburger has gotten loose because it was bitten by a radioactive shrimp from Walmart.
Yep.
Be careful with the shrimps, people. So, anything you want to greenlight for our listeners this week?
Well, I definitely gave it away at the end, but if you haven't seen the film Super 8, I think that is a fantastic film.
Okay, yeah.
I definitely think it's even PG. So I think, if you have roughly
so.
kids like 10 years old, it's appropriate for that. If you want something definitely more family friendly, E.T. It's a classic.
Absolutely.
Go with that. And don't worry about falling down a Reddit rabbit hole like I did. That is my red light. Do not do that.
Do not.
What about you, Travis?
I would probably greenlight Signs. It's been a good minute since I've seen that one, and I actually enjoy watching that one coming up through like October, Halloween, just to add a little bit of difference to like the horror and the supernatural movies I enjoy watching. If not Signs, then the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds.
Oh, really?
Again, we're dealing with aliens. I actually really enjoyed that movie. It's different from the book because I'm currently going through the book, but aliens, sci-fi, yeah, just trying to keep on point with the topic.
Nice. I got to give that another watch. I haven't seen it since I had hair, so it's been a couple decades.
Well, guys, got a movie pitch of your own? Love this movie or think we could have cast it better? Or a question for us? Message or tag us on Blusky, Instagram, TikTok at Greenlight This Pod. We might feature it in a future episode.
Follow us on Letterbox, where we post movie reviews, and our watch list might hold hints to what's in production.
And if you enjoyed this production, leave us a 5-star review and subscribe so you don't miss the next premiere. Let's drop next week's trailer and credits roll.